Most parents don't realize this, but the words you say to your child every single day don't just shape their mood in the moment, they shape how their brain learns to see itself. Some of the most common, well-intentioned phrases quietly train children to become anxious, approval-seeking, emotionally fragile adults without the parent ever meaning to do harm. So before you feel defensive, let me be clear, if you've said any of these phrases, it doesn't mean you're a bad parent, it means you're a normal one doing what you were taught. But once you see what these words actually teach a child's nervous system, you can't unsee it, and that awareness alone can change your child's emotional trajectory in powerful ways. The first phrase sounds loving on the surface, but it plants a seed of fear deep underneath, and that phrase is, be careful. When children hear be careful constantly, their brain doesn't translate it as safety guidance, it translates it as danger awareness. Their nervous system starts scanning the world as if harm is always nearby. Instead of curiosity and confidence, you get hesitation, clinging, and overthinking, especially in new situations. Over time, the child internalizes the belief that the world is unsafe and they are not capable of handling it, which is how anxiety quietly forms, not from trauma, but from repetition. A better phrase that builds resilience instead is, I am right here if you need me. The second phrase feels like motivation but actually teaches performance anxiety, and that phrase is, I'm proud of you. When pride becomes the main emotional reward, children learn that love and approval are conditional on outcomes, not effort or character. They start chasing praise instead of growth, and when praise disappears, confidence collapses. This is why some children melt down after small failures, because their self-worth was built on external validation instead of internal stability. A better alternative is, you worked really hard on that. The third phrase sounds like emotional guidance but actually teaches emotional suppression, and that phrase is, you're okay. When a child is upset and hears you're okay, their brain receives a confusing message that their internal experience is wrong or inconvenient. Instead of learning how to process emotions, they learn how to hide them. This creates adults who struggle to name feelings, ask for help, or regulate stress, not because they're weak, but because they were never allowed to fully feel. A better response is, I can see you're upset. The fourth phrase feels like protection but creates emotional dependence, and that phrase is, let me do it for you. When parents step into quickly, children don't learn competence, they learn helplessness. The brain associates challenge with rescue instead of problem solving. This creates kids who doubt themselves, avoid effort, and fear mistakes, not because they lack ability, but because their confidence muscle was never exercised. A better phrase is, show me where you're stuck. The fifth phrase sounds like discipline but teaches shame, and that phrase is, why can't you be more like your brother or sister? Comparison rewires a child's self-image around deficiency. It teaches them that love is competitive and identity is ranked. This creates insecurity, resentment, and long-term self-doubt, even in high-achieving kids, because someone is always better. A healthier alternative is, everyone learns differently. The sixth phrase feels like honesty but plants a fixed mindset. And that phrase is, you're just shy, or you're not good at math. Labels stick to the brain like glue. Children don't hear them as descriptions, they hear them as limits. Once the brain accepts a label, it stops trying to grow beyond it. This is how potential quietly shrinks without anyone noticing. A better phrase is, you're still learning. The seventh phrase sounds calming but actually teaches emotional avoidance, and that phrase is, stop crying. Crying is a biological regulation process. When parents shut it down, the child's nervous system doesn't learn calm, it learns suppression. Suppressed emotions don't disappear, they resurface later as anxiety, anger, or emotional numbness. A better phrase is, I'm here with you. What is important to understand is that fragile children are not created by one mistake or one bad day. They're shaped by patterns, tone, and repetition. And the beautiful part is that resilience is built the same way through small, consistent language shifts that slowly rewire how a child experiences themselves and the world. You don't need to speak perfectly. You don't need to be gentle every moment. You don't need to erase frustration. What children need most is emotional safety, not emotional perfection. That safety comes from feeling understood, capable, and connected, especially in moments when things go wrong. If you take nothing else from this, remember this: your child is not fragile because of who they are. They become fragile when they learn that their emotions are too much, their mistakes are unacceptable, and their worth depends on pleasing others. But when your words teach them that emotions are manageable, effort matters, and love doesn't disappear when they struggle, something powerful happens. They grow roots instead of armor, and roots make children steady in storms, not scared of them.